So, what is a linked list? You should first understand what is a linked list, why it is called as linked list. You can imagine linked list like your compartments which are present in the train. Okay, when you take your train, there are so many compartments. Okay, and every compartment is connected to the next compartment by means of one chain or one link. Okay, so that is an example for linked list. Now let us see what it contains. So this linked list is nothing but it is a linear data structure, and in case of linear data structure we know that elements are stored in linear way. Okay, but in case of array is also a linear data structure. Elements are stored in continuous memory locations in case of array. Whereas in case of linked list, even though it is a linear data structure, elements are not stored in continuous memory locations. They are stored at random memory locations. Okay, when you store them in random memory location, you need to have some connection between them. Okay, how to get the connection? For that connection only, the elements are linked to each other by means of a pointer. This pointer is very, very important. We will call this pointer as link or address or next value, anything. Okay, the elements are linked together by means of a pointer. Next, this linked list contains nodes, and every node contains a data field and then an address field. We will call the address field as reference field or link field or pointer field. Okay, and this address field or reference field contains the address of the next node which is present in the linked list. Okay, and this data field contains the value of the node, whereas the reference field contains the address of the next node. Now here I have given one example for this linked list. There are 4 nodes available here. Okay, everything is called as node. Node here consists of 2 fields. One is the data field, another is the address field or link field or next field. Okay. Now in the data field we are going to store the value. Whatever value you want to store in the node, you will be storing here. What we will have in the link field, that is the next field, it will contain the memory address of the next node. Okay, because you want to travel from one node to the another node. How to get the memory address of the next node? For that only we have this next field. And if you have link like this, there will be some node which is present in the end. If you see the link field of the next node, that is the end node, that will be null. Null means it is not pointing to anything. It will be stored with null pointer. And one more thing we will have, this we will see clearly in the implementation. There will be some node known as head that will contain the address of the first node. If I want the address of the second node, from where I'll be getting the address of the second node is, if I see the link field of the first node, I will get the address of the second node. Okay, the address of the third node, that is C address, will be stored here in the link field of the second node. But I don't know what is the address of the first node. I need to store that also. For that only we have something known as head pointer. This pointer will contain the address of the first node. Okay, we will see clearly in the implementation. And if you see the last node, in case of a singly linked list, that will have null value there. Next, how we are going to implement stacks and queues. In the previous unit, we have seen stacks and queues. In all the places, I told that you can implement them in 2 ways. One is by means of an array, another by means of the linked list. And we have seen the array-based implementation for all of them. So the stacks and queues can be implemented either by means of arrays or by means of linked list. So in this unit, we are going to implement them by means of the linked list. So before that, you should understand what is the difference between the storage of array-based implementation and the linked list-based implementation in the memory. For that, consider this example. The left-hand side is the array-based implementation, this part, and this part is linked list-based implementation. Okay, so in case of array-based implementation, I want to store 5 elements in the stack. So I'll create a stack with maximum size as 5. Then I will store 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 in that particular stack. Now, I want to access this 30. Okay, in case of an array, you know that all the elements in the array will be stored at continuous memory locations. That means if the starting address of the array is 10, 10 will be stored from 1000, 1001, 1002, and 1003. Okay, and if the next number is 20, that number will be immediately stored after this 10. That is 10 is ending at 1003. Starting from 1004, you will have the next number. So we say that array elements are stored in contiguous memory locations. And if I want to get the address of array of I, we have the formula. The formula is base address plus I multiplied by size of element. So here I want to get address of A of 2. Base address is 1000. 1000 plus 2 into 4, because I am assuming that it is an integer array. So I am multiplying by 4. Now I have 1008. So in 1008, I will get the first byte of this particular number. It will occupy 4 memory locations, but the first memory location of that number is at 1008. So here, if you know the index of the number, you can access the number directly with the help of this index, because you are calculating the address with the help of the index. But now we will see this method. In case of linked list implementation, you can just focus on the diagram. I have 4 different nodes here. First node is having value as 15, second node is 3, third node is 17, and then last node is 19. If you see the first node, it is stored at the memory address 3200. Okay. Now this address, that is the first address of the first element, this will be stored in link, the head pointer. Head is going to point to the address of the first element in your linked list. Now, since it is 3200, I am storing that value in the head pointer. Now, what is the link field of the first node? It will contain the memory address of the next node. In the next node, the value is 3. Okay, it is stored at the address 3600. So this address I have to fetch and store it in the link field of this node. Okay, next. The next node is having value as 3, and it will, in the link field of that node, I will store the memory address of the next node, which is nothing but 4000. Similarly, I'll be storing one by one. When you take the final node, since it is not going to point to any other node further, you will store the value null in the link field of the last node in case of singly linked list. Now in this, I want to get address of 17. If it is array-based implementation, you have this formula. Directly you have the formula. If you see addresses here, all the addresses differ by same number 4. That 4 is nothing but the size of the data what you are storing in the memory location. But here, there is no connection between the addresses. Even though here there is a connection that is 400, but in actual there is no connection between the addresses. One address can be 3000, another can be 5000, another can be 5500, anything. There cannot be any difference, any relation between them. If I want to get the address of this 17, what I have to do is, I have to start from this head. Head is having 3200. I have to first go to that memory location. Okay, I should go to 3200. In that, I have to go to the address field. Get this address. It is 3600. So you go to the address 3600. In that, the element 30 will be stored along with this address 4000. Now you take this address from here. Go to the address 4000. In that, you have the data as 17. If you want to go to 4000, you cannot go there directly because you don't know this 4000. This 4000 is available here only. You have to go to this node. Starting from the head, one by one, you have to travel all the nodes. Finally, you will reach your node. There is no direct way to access the node. Accessing is difficult here. You can't access directly by means of one access. You have to do as many access, which is depending upon the number of nodes which are present in the list before this node. Okay, this is one of the disadvantage we have in a linked list. Now, you understood how the linked list is stored in the memory and how array is stored in the memory. Now, let us see the comparison. This comparison is very, very important, student. Focus on this. We are going to now compare array with linked list, so that when you implement a program, you should understand whether you will go for array-based method or linked list-based method. In case of an array, the data accessing is very faster. I have shown you in the previous slide. If you want to access one element, you can do with the help of the array name and the index. When you write the array name, that is going to give us the base address. Okay, use the base address and the index to get the address of a particular element. You go to that memory and access that element directly. No need to go to the previous elements for that. Okay. With the help of the base address and the index, you can calculate the address of element. Directly, you can access that element. That is one of the most important advantage of arrays. This is known as faster data access. And another advantage is arrays are simple to understand and use. That if you consider the disadvantages of arrays, there are many disadvantages of arrays. That's why we go for the linked list method. So one of the important disadvantage of array is the size of the array is fixed. Okay. So in case of an array, we have already seen these things in dynamic memory allocation. In case of an array, whenever you are declaring the array, that time itself you have to tell what is the size of the array. If you don't know the size of the array in advance, you will be giving some highest number. Like when you are writing the program, you are writing array of 10 or array of 100. If you allocate array of 100, if you use only 5 elements, remaining memory are wasted. Okay. So in case of an array, we are always allocating more amount of memory. But in practice, we will not use maximum memory. If you are allocating for 1000 elements, you will be using only 50 elements or 60 elements. So remaining are wasted. But always we will estimate more, then we will allocate it, okay, to avoid other problems. So this method in practice, it is wasting most of the memory. And that is one of the disadvantage of arrays. And the second disadvantage is, if you want to insert a new element in the array, for example, I want to maintain the ID of the students in a sorted order. For example, here I have 5 different IDs, 1000, 1010, 1050, 2000 and 2040. Now, I am getting one more new ID with the number 1005. I want to insert this 1005 in the proper order, okay, in the sorted order. If I use arrays for implementing this particular program, you know that in arrays, elements will be stored in continuous memory locations only. Now I want to insert this 1005 after this 1000 because I am inserting in the sorted order. What I have to do? After 1000, currently I have 1010. So I have to move that. If I want to move that, I have to move this 1050 also. So if I want to insert 1005 after 1000, I have to move all these 4 numbers so that they will create space for 1005. So this is taking so much time. I have to do so many movings. Okay. So that is the main drawback in case of an array. Whenever you want to insert a new element into the array, that operation is expensive because first you have to create a space that is room for the element. Then in that created space, you have to add the element. While you are creating space for that element, you are shifting so many elements in the next memory locations. So that is going to consume your time. So that is the second drawback of arrays. Now, another drawback of array is, now we have seen insertion is difficult. Another drawback of array is deletion is also expensive. What is the reason? If I want to delete this 1050, next, that space will be free. What I have to do? I have to move this 2000, 2040, everything should be moved one position to the left. So again, deletion is going to take more time because you are going to move the elements. Since array elements are stored in continuous memory locations, when you delete one element, all the remaining elements should be moved one position to the left. So deletion is also expensive. So these are the main disadvantages of arrays. Okay, general list, the first is a very, very important disadvantage. In case of arrays, we go for static allocation. Now, how to overcome this disadvantage? For that only, we go for linked list. In case of a linked list, what is the advantage I have is, I'm not going to use static memory allocation. I'm going to use only dynamic memory allocation. Whenever I want to add a node, that time only I will allocate memory for that node by means of the malloc and calloc functions. If you want to add an element, you create memory for that element using dynamic memory allocation. So you never waste any memory in case of linked list implementation. And the second advantage is, if you want to insert or delete any element, no need to shift any other elements. We will see these things when we see the implementation. If you focus on the disadvantages of linked list, what is the main disadvantage of linked list is, here I'm telling you access 17. Okay, if I want to access 17, that is called as random access. We have two types of access. One is sequential access, another is random access. Sequential access means start from the first element, access them one by one. Whereas random access means access one element directly, that is random access. If I tell you access 30, in case of an array, you know the address of 30. If I tell you access 30 means I will tell access the element at array of 2, A of 2. Okay, with the help of this two, you can calculate the address of 30. You can go there and you can access it. But here, if I tell you access the third element, okay, that is this 17. You have to first go to the first element, take the address of the element, then go to the next element, take the address from there, then go to that element. There only your element will be present. Whereas in this, you never do like that. You are directly accessing it. Random access is easy in case of an array, whereas random access is not possible in case of a linked list. It is only sequential access. That is the main drawback of linked list. Okay, so the random access is not allowed here. We have to access all the elements sequentially starting from the first node. So this is one thing we will see later. Sometimes you want to do for binary search. That binary search is not possible in case of linked list. We will focus on this point later in detail. Now, another thing is regarding the memory space. There are totally 5 elements. Every element is going to occupy 4 bytes. So totally 20. Okay, starting from 1000 up to 1019, 20 memory locations will be allocated for this array. The same array, that is the same elements, I am going to store by means of a linked list. In case of a linked list, here I have shown only 4 elements. Okay, let us consider 4 here also. If it is 4 in the array implementation, I'll go for 16 memory locations. Okay, let us consider the linked list implementation. Here, to store this 15, I need 4 memory locations. And what about this part? This is the address of the next number. Without this address, you cannot access the next number. So for the address, it is a pointer. We have seen in the first unit that every pointer is going to occupy 8 memory locations. So for this 15, 4 memory locations, and for this pointer, 8 memory locations, totally 12 memory locations for one node. Okay, so the next node also 12 memory locations, 12 plus 4, 12 plus 12, 24. Then another node also, third node also 12. So 36. Fourth node also 12. 36 plus 12 is 48. Now, in addition, I need to store this pointer also. Okay, this pointer is going to occupy 8 memory locations. So to store 4 nodes in case of linked list implementation, you have to see what is the data type of the node. If it is integer, I'm talking about integer, and I'm assuming that my compiler is going to take 8 bytes for a pointer. Okay, so in that case, 4 multiplied by 4 plus 8, 4 for the data field and 8 for the pointer field, address field. That many memory I have to allocate for this. In addition, I have to allocate 8 memory locations for this pointer. Whereas here, only 4 multiplied by 4, 16, that's all. Whereas in this case, you have to store the address also in every node. Address of the next node, you have to store in every node. So that is going to occupy more memory. That is the another drawback of linked list. Extra memory space is required for pointers. Without the pointers, you cannot access the next node. So without pointer, you can't implement linked list. So that is the second drawback. And in case of array, we have another advantage. In computer organization, you will study this term. It is called as cache locality. What is the meaning is, when you are writing your program, all the program will contain many statements, many instructions. All the instructions will be stored in immediate memory locations only. For example, if I have a program, if my first instruction is stored at some address 1000, the next instruction will be stored in the next address only. They will be stored in continuous memory locations. Always, if you go for array, in array only, we are storing all the elements in continuous memory locations. Whereas in case of linked list, we are not storing the elements of linked list. The last disadvantage is your arrays have better cache locality. That is useful for storing your programs, because in program, when you start executing the first line, definitely after the first line is over, you will execute the second line till the closing parenthesis is encountered. So you will be executing them continuously till you reach the last instruction in your program. So in that case, don't go for linked list implementation. Only array implementation is better. Okay, so first we are going to compare based upon how to access the element. If I want to access the element in case of an array, I should give the name of the array and the index of the array element. Okay, like A of 2. If I give A of 2, from A, it will get the starting address of the array, and from 2, it will get the index. By using the formula we have seen, it will calculate the address of that element. You go to that address and take the element. It is very easy. It is called as random access. So random access is possible here. Yes, in case of a linked list, you cannot access any element randomly. You have to travel from the head. You have to move one by one until you reach the element what you want to access. So this is not a random access. It is only sequential access. This is one important difference. And the second difference is accessing time. In case of an array, accessing time is fast because you are doing random access. Whereas in case of a linked list, the accessing time is not faster. You are going sequential access. If you want to access one node, you have to start from the head. You have to travel one by one till you come to that node. So that is going to take some time. So it is slower when compared to array. And what about insertion and deletion? In case of array, insertion and deletion consumes a lot of time because you have to move the element. When you insert or delete, you have to move the remaining elements. So it is going to time, it will take some time. Whereas in case of linked list, it is not going to consume more time. It will consume less time when compared to arrays. This we will see in program so that you will understand. Then what about the size? In case of array, we go for fixed array memory location. Whereas in case of linked list, it is dynamic and flexible. Whenever you want a node, you can create it by means of dynamic memory allocation. If you don't want, you will release it. So it is going to save the memory. And memory allocation, when you are doing, in case of this array, maximum will be doing the memory allocation during compile time. Whereas in case of linked list, always we will do the memory allocation during the runtime. And what about the storage? How the elements of the array or linked list are stored? In case of array, the elements are stored in continuous memory locations, which I have already shown you in the slide. Whereas in case of linked list, the elements are not stored in continuous memory location. They will be stored in some random memory location, whichever is written by the malloc or calloc functions. And then the memory requirement, if the size is known, assume that the size is known. How much memory you are going to allocate? If I tell that my array will contain, my data, a stack will contain only 5 elements. I'm sure maximum 5 elements only. If you go for array implementation, you will allocate less memory because you are not allocating any extra memory for pointers as in case of linked list. Whereas in case of linked list, memory requirement is more because for every node, we are storing the pointer of the next node also. So that is going to occupy more memory space. If you want to save memory, if you are not worrying about the performance, you go for array implementation. Okay. And last is memory utilization. In case of array, memory utilization is inefficient because whenever elements are deleted or added, whatever is the extra space that will be remaining as such. Whereas in case of linked list, you never allocate any extra space. You are creating the element, you are adding it by means of malloc or calloc. If you don't want, you remove them by means of free. So it is going to utilize the memory in an efficient way. But if you don't know the size, it is having the disadvantage as we have seen in the previous point. So from this, we cannot say that whether array-based implementation is perfect or linked list-based implementation is perfect for a particular application. You have to understand whether your application is interested in saving the memory or it is interested in performing the operations faster. If I say, write a program where your application is going to focus on the accessing time, that is, it wants to do the data access or insertion, deletion, everything in a faster way, for which you will go now. I want to add more number of elements. I want to delete elements as I like. Which one you will prefer, array or linked list?
Linked list.
Linked list, definitely linked list, because you want to perform more addition, more deletions frequently. In that case, you go for linked list. Suppose if I tell, I will not perform addition and insertion and deletion frequently, but I am very much worried about my memory. I want to save the memory cost. So in that case, what you will do now, you will go for this array-based implementation if you know that your size is, if you know your size before you start your program. Okay. So in that case, you can go for this array-based implementation. So nothing is perfect. You have to see the application according to the application only. You have to choose your method. For that,